I believe, and become a narcissist just from your environment, what you've been taught, and what came about in your everyday life. So
excellent. Now listen, Professor, I'd like you to do two things. So if you can break down the difference between NPD and narcissistic traits, and then answer the question. I want to do this because I think that people hear narcissism and they automatically, they talk traits, but they mean definition. You got to have a clinical diagnosis and an understanding for that. So can you explain the differences between the actual NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, versus some of the traits that are common in our culture?
Okay. So generally when we're diagnosing somebody with NPD or narcissistic personality disorder, they have to have 5 out of the 9 different criteria in the DSM. So they would have to meet all 5 of those particular, at least 5 out of 9 of them before we do that. Now, what's interesting is that although everyone is calling somebody a narcissist, really only approximately 1% of the population is considered to be able to meet this particular personality disorder. Now, some of the traits, kind of what the main or the simplistic part is going to be the normal traits that we have. If you just have typical narcissism, which everyone, as we have already kind of touched on, are born with certain traits, but that doesn't make you a narcissist. But once that becomes to be dysfunctional in your relationships, and you can't have relationships, you know, you're highly irritable, everything is about self, and it comes to where it's detrimental, that's when you may be going over into narcissistic personality disorder, once it becomes to the extreme. So some of the main traits, if you have these things here, 9 times out of 10, you are not NPD or have a personal disorder. You may just have certain little traits of narcissism. So if you're able to have empathy, some level of flexibility, some level of a reality check, and still able to function in relationships healthily, 9 times out of 10, you are okay. Now, if you need an extreme amount of validation, an extreme amount of affirmation, an extreme, you're extremely non-flexible. You have no adaptability quotient at all, no empathy for anybody, and highly irritable, volatile, that type of thing, then you may be closer towards going towards the disorder. But again, only 1% has even been diagnosed with NPD.
See, that's a really good point. So another thing is, the diagnosis means that they actually have to go to get diagnosed.
Correct.
So it is very possible that we have people who actually have this. I mean, but of course, why would a narcissist think that they need to go get, I mean, why would they think they need to get diagnosed, right?
Exactly.
So it's important to know this, everybody, because you may very well be around it, but we want to make sure that we show some respect and we don't just go around throwing names and labels if there hasn't been an adequate diagnosis from somebody qualified to do that.
Correct.